that you said we're taught not to cry.
Hmm.
Why do you think that is? That because I'm admit I'm a cry. I'm a huge crybaby. My dad was a crybaby. I actually got my sensitivity, who I am, from my father. My
Mm,
mother was from West Point, Mississippi.
mm.
She was the strong one that was like, you be strong, you don't show weakness, you work, da da da. Why do you think that is? Is it because they don't want you to seem weak or to be a failure?
I mean, you nailed it. It's there. The perception is that emotions equals weak. Emotions
Mm.
equals bad. Emotions, and to go a little bit deeper, all of our media, um, for you know hundreds of years at this point,
Yes.
has been setting up a particular. Even think about the cowboys and Indians. Think about Clint Eastwood. Think about like
Mm-hmm.
how a man is supposed to be. A man has the right answers. He's stoic. He's a hero. He's X, Y, and Z. This is why men kill themselves more than women, is because they are so repressed. They're so emotionally repressed that those things burst out in ridiculous things. And this is just side note. This is why I say and have changed it from midlife crisis to midlife awakening. Because
Mm.
what happens is somebody recognizes that they've been living their life from somebody else, and they say, enough with that bullshit. I'm going to do what I want to do. And so um,
Finally happened for me.
exactly. It's such a big deal to take ownership of one's life and decide, make a
Yes.
decision that if I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna fall forward. If I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail on my terms, right? And
Mm.
that's a beautiful, risky thing for a lot of people, and men especially have been taught to be tough, to tough it up, and that big boys don't cry, and
Mm-hmm.
you hear that enough, and black women as well. Black women
Mm.
get their asses handed to them on multiple levels. And so there's a lot of generational trauma that we are all working through together,
Agreed.
and that's a part of it.
So why do you think that people don't understand their worth?
Mm. Um, there's multiple levels to it, but I'm going to break a few things down, right? So
Okay.
there's four aspects of what it means to be human.
Hmm.
We are biological beings, um, which is easy. We are linguistic beings, which means we build worlds with our language, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't understand the concept of door or doorknob, it's very difficult for me to get out of this room. But through the language and me understanding through language, I can now get out of this room, right?
Okay.
We are social and historical beings. This is the one I'm going to land on. We are social and historical beings, which means we were born into beliefs and interpretations. So oftentimes, uh, not even often, almost always, we are a product of who we were raised by, or
Agreed.
or the lack thereof. And so, if my mom had a scarcity mentality, if my mom was raped or abused, if my dad went through X, Y, and Z, more than likely they're going to pass that same trauma to me,
Yes.
through the womb, and then when I get on the outside, right, as a way of protecting me. They think they're protecting me. They will try to curb my expectations for the world and what I can and can't do in this world based on my skin color, or where we come from, what side of the tracks we're on, X, Y, and Z. And so a lot of people don't know their worth because they haven't actually investigated the social and historical, the beliefs and interpretations that they've taken on. See, for me, I've spent my life looking at those things and deciding whether I want to keep them or not. Like my dad, rest his beautiful soul, struggled with some drug problems, but
Yes.
my dad, but,
Happens.
but my dad was also a giver. So
Yeah.
I'll keep the giver part, but I'll get rid of the part where one is addicted or
Mm-hmm.
allowing their biology to dictate what happens in the world.
Yes.
A lot of people are drug around by their I don't want to say this in a bad way or whatever the case may be for your viewers, but they're drug around by their genitals. They
Mm.
allow they allow the short-term gain of sex or food or shopping to dictate their lives. And for me, I say no to the good so I can say yes to the great. You
I
know,
know that's right. Say that one more time for the congregation to all hear it. One more time, brother.
yeah, I say no to the good so I can say yes to the great. That is,
Yes, I love that. But can
mm,
I tell you, it I learned a very beautiful word lately.
mm,
No.
that's the one.
Okay? I did. I mean, and it took a long time because as a woman, and especially like watching my mom, my mom, we were raised in the church and this and
Mhm.
the third, and which I love her for doing that because it instilled a lot of good morals in me. However, I had to learn in life who to give to because I had a lot of people that were just tearing me down and dragging me just till Vivica was empty and was successful, but empty and not happy. So it wasn't until literally I looked in the mirror at myself and took responsibility for my happiness,
Yes.
my worth. If a person, and I didn't mean it to be mean, I just had to be honest with myself.
Yes.
What was it in life that makes me happy? Who's not making me happy? Who's not contributing to me watching my flowers bloom? I can't even
Yes.
tell you how many houses I built, how many cars I've driven, this, that, and the third, and none of that equaled happiness.